Hey everybody, welcome back to Minecraft. It's Lapis Lauri. We're here in my single player world where I'm going to decorate this house for you today. We'll do some things inside and then we'll put some landscaping out so we can make it look good like the rest of our homes in our Alpine Fantasy Village. Come along. Well, it looks like we've got a visitor today. He's brought his llamas with us. Sir, why are you here? 5 emeralds for a spruce sapling? I feel like you're not doing your best. So let's explore these rooms and see what we can do here. There's one smaller room over here that seems to be a bit out of itself. I think that I want to put an enchanting setup here. So let's find bookcases, an enchanting table, and we'll put it right here in the middle. Is this the lighting we'd like to have? Let's find a glowstone or a frog light. I think frog lights might be neat. Pearlescent frog light might be pretty in the middle of this room, especially underneath our little thingy doodler right here. How many of these do we need? Quite a bit, I'm guessing. 6, 12. That's plenty. And then we can put these lights down here as well to illuminate corners. We don't need a torch back there. I think that's pretty cool. And then would we want to have curtains up? What kind of curtains do we need? What color will this house be? I feel like I want to make this a kitchen area. We'll put some storage underneath here. That's right. This guy says, He knows what's up. So we'll work on that. We'll put some kitchen things here. We've got our lovely enchanting table there. We should probably have a chest there too. Just because every time that you do enchanting, you need some place to keep all of your beautiful lapis. You're going to need a anvil, right? Everybody needs an anvil to do things. Maybe a grind stone. I feel like that's kind of in the way now. Let's put our grindstone underneath like that. We'll put something underneath it though, so it doesn't look like dirt. Because when we enchant books, we're going to want to change the way that looks, eh? Probably so. All right, so we got everything we need to do enchanting, except for, of course, lapis. But here I am. Let's put some other storage underneath here. Can we get underneath that? I gotta go here. Like so. That'll give us a little bit of storage. What else could possibly go in some places like this? Maybe some shelving. What would we use for shelving? Perhaps these little trapdoors? Maybe so. Let's put a flower pot back here. And a beautiful cactus. Can we put a cactus flower on that? That would be cool. Can we put a miniature flower? I didn't think so. It's worth a try though. Can we put a cactus flower just in a flower pot? No. What other plants do we have? Let's go down here to these things. We've got flowers. What does a torch flower look like inside a flower pot? Can we put one in there? How interesting is that? That'll give us like maybe some botany. Maybe this person has some, I don't know, some medical knowledge. And they're in there healing up some folks. Let's Let's make it daylight so our little friend becomes non-invisible. And then we have 2 other layers to do some things in. I think we'll make this like a reading nook or a bedroom, I think. What's on the top? Let's make this the reading nook or the... Is there another layer? Man, I made this one super duper tall. All the things we have to do. I think I want this to be... How cool would it be to make this like the apothecary? So all of our brewing stand things will be here. I think that would be really interesting. I like the chiseled bookshelf. This will give us something to do with, I guess you could put books on here, right? Let's see if we can put an enchanted book on there. I think you can. Look at that. Ingredients, Aqua Infinity. I wonder why it's called ingredients. But these, they now have things that you can stack books in bookshelves in Minecraft. Who would have thunk it? And I think it's kind of cool. So, what are we going to set our brewing stand on? Probably another one of these. There we go. So we'll have some chests on this area too. So we'll have brewing things in there. So nether wart, right? We're going to need water bottles. How many water bottles? We don't even know. Just if we're going to do brewing, we might as well do it right. We're going to need blaze rods, blaze powder to do all the brewing things that we want to do. And then we're going to have multiple places to store them. Let's have some symmetrical items here. Such as that. So many places to put things when we're brewing. We are going to have some sort of work table. Let's think about science tables and what they look like. They're very dark, right? They have almost a black surface. Black stone. And then let's think about like the strange green top that they might have. I feel like it would be something like this, a workbench. You come over here to mix some things up. Do we have any seating that we might like to do? What kind of stairs would we have in here? Probably more the polished blackstone, I'm guessing. And then since we're going with the kind of weird copper, that's too high. That's going to extend beyond where I want. Although I don't hate it, but I can't put one on each side if I've got one there. What if I made a couch? I could do that. Would we want it this close though? If we're gonna couch, we'd probably want to put it someplace else. Maybe here. A little closer to the door. Right? Nope, that's not quite what I was after. But I like that. It kind of gives it an armrest feel. And then would we have cool paintings or anything on the wall? Oh, that's a nice big painting. Let's do that. That looks fun. Just a little something something. Then I think we're gonna replace that since it seemed to be cut off at the top there. All right, maybe a carpet. Let's think about that. Probably still have black carpet in here. There we go. Our work area has some of those industrial mats. Pretty good. And if we need anything else, we'll definitely come looking for it. I think water will be another thing that we're going to need. We'll have to think about how we can do like an internal source of water, I think. Now, we were going to do a bedroom or a reading nook here. How far up do we want to go to sleep? Let's do our bedroom here. Let's stick with the cyan color that we got going on. So if I had a bedroom here, I would probably put my bed along this wall, but I'd like to have a bookcase right here. Let's look at that. A nightstand, and then like a headboard. What would we put on the side? Lights, like a lantern. Everybody would have their own little bedside lamp. I like it. And then let's do some greenery, so some live plants. Just a small fern. A little bit of a house plant makes it look quaint. What else do people normally have in their bedroom? They're gonna have a wardrobe, right? They're gonna have some place to put all of their stuff, their clothing, all that kind of good stuff. So in our world, we only have chests, but we can masquerade some chests inside a wardrobe. Let's put some doors, right? And then how would we cover that? Probably this dark spruce wood. And then we would also have lights up here of some sort. Let's be super sneaky and place some illumination. Can we still open up this top shelf? We can. It's like super secret. We could put our spare boots in there, any kind of clothing we might want to have. I do feel like it needs to have some illumination. Can I put this here? Nope, none of that's gonna happen. All right, well, here's our wardrobe. Now let's put a painting on the side. Maybe not a spooky painting. Although cake was pretty nice. Oh, there you go, villagers. To greet you on the way up. What else would we have in our bedroom? We'd probably have a place to sit. So let's think about our chairs. What did we do before? Black. The black stone. Let's do like a casual seating area. And we'll do a lamp. Maybe a little end table. Shelving that goes there. I'd like to be able to put something underneath here. But as these are on the bottom half of the block, I can't really do that. Just something to hold it up. If I put it on the top, I could stick something underneath there. Like so. Make it look like a little end table, perhaps. Do the same thing here, except then it covers that. Let's do a suspended light from the ceiling. To add a little illumination to the seating area. We probably don't need to do that low. We'll do another one here. There we go. That's not too bad. Do a little something, something. What about these paintings? Let's do another one right here. Oh, it's very dramatic. That looks a little brighter. We'll roll with it. And we had said, let's find like a reading area, like if we're going to be doing some contemplation or whatever. Again, with the couches that we had. I like that too. Maybe not TV, but here we are. And if we're going to have a reading area, these would be bookcases back here, would they not? Think about a nice IKEA place. Got our sectional couch. just gonna go back here. I think there should be like a plant. Some sort of plant would be here. Let's do another one of those pearlescent frog light. What is this? Frog spawn? I haven't ever looked into that to see what that might be. And then spooky weather. All right, it's an azalea is what I'm looking for. Maybe we've got a little potted plant back here, just making it look happy-go-lucky. Do we have azalea leaves? We do. Look at that. And then nobody needs to know that that's a light back there. Just looks like a little plant of some sort. I'm happy with that. And then I think this illuminated area is pretty good. Let's try to do another one of those chains on a light. Offer some lighting with less of this torch. We have illumination, illumination, illumination. I think this will be good. I don't have a light levels mod to say, okay, that is exactly what we want. And then we don't know what we want to do here. Kitchen goes downstairs, right? Maybe we have, what would we have here? Additional storage? Would we have a crafting area? What do you think we should do here? You guys let me know in the comments what we should do with this open area. And then I will go downstairs and we'll make a kitchen in this area. Can you go? I would like for you to leave, sir. Sir, can you leave the building? If I leave, will you leave? We did use a lightning rod for something recently, which I think turned out really well. Yeah, And then can I put another chain off of that? Well, it's interesting. I'd like for these to connect somehow. What if we just use the copper rod to go straight down and hang from that? That works. I could just not, you know, replace my roofing. This can be like our little work area. Let's do a stair that's upside down. Could be some of our kitchen. I like this pendant sitch here. Our well-lit kitchen area. We often will use rail to make it look like a grill surface. So we think about our work triangle. There we're going to have our cauldron here, which will be our sink. We'll have our kitchen here, our range. Let's do it like that. That way we've got workspace on either side. And then we are going to need a refrigerator. Where's that going to go? Should that go in this location? Our work triangle will be a little bigger that way. Let's do an iron block. And then can we get an iron door? I think we can. There's our refrigerator. And then we'll put a button to maybe open it. Let's do a stone button, see if that works. It does. Can open our fridge right up. And I don't know about you, but I always have things on top of my refrigerator. Actually, I keep my griddle up there to make pancakes. But what else do we keep up there? Baskets? Let's just look at some of the things we have and see what that looks like. This bamboo kind of looks like a cutting board. That's really big. We could use a bamboo pressure plate as a cutting board though. That might work. Kind of like that. Let's put our cauldron in. Little water. faucet right there, perhaps. I think if we had another iron block underneath, will that break? Yeah. Maybe this could be our dishwasher. There's the faucet that goes in. And then maybe we'll keep another button right here. And say that's the dishwasher or something. It's just some kitchen-esque items, but there's the faucet. We could do our dish draining over here. We could have storage in this area. To go along with all that, so we can keep our food items in here. We can keep our potatoes, our tater tots, our steak, whatever we need. So here's our nice kitchen area. Would we like to have an island? I think so. I feel like that's a really tall island. What if we disguise it under something like this? That could work out really well. I think I want to have another one of those frog lights underneath there to illuminate it gently instead of that. Then we can just have another layer of a little something something there. That works out really well. So here's our kitchen area. What else would we have in here? I wish that we could have, what's that? A bamboo raft? What does that look like? Can I even set it down? That's really big. And I wonder how much bigger that is than a boat and what you can do with it. Can you only stand on that? Interesting. What does this look like? Does this look like a potato bin? No, but it does kind of look like some sort of strange colored cabinet. I'll deal with it for now. I don't hate it. It's additional decor of some sort. Let's do a painting. Oh, cake in the kitchen. Perfect. I know it's Mario Kart, but I call it the big cake. So now let's think about how we would decor this. We generally have a pathway that comes up to houses in our neighborhood with these mud bricks, and I'm okay with that. Maybe it's a little worn in a couple different places. We use our shovel to wear the path down. Here we go. We do mud brick half slabs to make our life a little easier when we go up and down. Right? All right, let's go ahead and get some of these in here too. And we also want to have some beautiful flowers in these areas. So let's put some azalea bushes here and we'll make them into some flower pots on the side as well. So let's get our flower pots underneath our windows to be consistent with a lot of the things in the build in other areas. We've got window boxes around many of their windows in this town. So we will do that too, probably just on this ground floor. I don't know if I want to keep them on every area. I feel like that's a bit much. All right, and then we have trap doors on all sides. We'll go ahead and fill all those in and be right back. All right, we have all of the window boxes put up for this house, and then we're going to put some of our flowers in it. And I believe yellow is probably the predominant color for this one. And they will hold 4 on each block. We don't have to fill in every single one. And voila, a little bit of decor there. I feel like I would like to have a little bit of vinage in some places. Like, there's one wall over here that didn't really work out for some of this because it had... I would have to just allow that to grow. It had the stairway here, so I didn't like this because it would not allow for two window boxes to be together with this wooden thing in the middle. It shared a space, so we weren't able to do that. Let's go ahead and put some leaves in the corner. Like, we're gonna have some things growing in this area, right? So let's just say we've got a little shrub that comes up here. Maybe it grows a little bit up the wall with this vine. I could see it happening. As my friend Corrales would say, some bushes. We'll put some bushes in there. I'm gonna have a little bit of a shrub here. Just growing in that little area. Maybe we'll put our azalea plant. One here. We can't put a full like window box, but we could definitely put a couple flowers. I think will be pretty, right? Oh look, it makes a flower shrub. Good to know. Wild it up a bit. Oh, I kind of like it. Just a little bit of naturalization. Add some ruggedness that's, you know, unkempt a little bit. Make our lives a little more beautiful in ways that we may not anticipate. I like it. That way it's not 100% symmetrical. Leave a little room for surprise and wonder in your life, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me in single-player Minecraft, where we do a little build and discovery and some decorating and some exploration and just do fun times. We'll see you soon, guys. Bye.